me up from the rain. It sounded like it was pouring.
All right, Grant, here we go. Questions.
Sav, this game offensively didn't start the way that you all wanted, but how did your all's defense really propel you all to get into your flow offensively in that second quarter?
Ultimately, I just think it's toughness. The Thursday game, I thought, we had a tremendous defensive plan and just clogging up the paint. And Southern Miss, they've always been big, tall. They've always had some length to them. So, it's just as long as we just pack the middle, just make it chaotic for them, for their post players, and just to make others put it on the floor and just react quick to different spots. I just think that's what won the game. This game and Thursday game was just toughness.
When you look, and Southern Miss is a team that's really given you all a little bit of grief with their length and size over the years. When you look down and you see that you out-rebounded Southern Miss by 11, you all took a lot of charges, got their bigs into foul trouble. How gratifying is that, knowing that the work that you all put into practice and the game plan coming into this game just played out to perfection?
That's what Kemper told us going into this game. The post players, they're going to have a lot to handle with this game, and he told us guards to go in there and be chippy, just to pick out the balls because they were going to need the help for sure. But I think just this game and Thursday's game, really, our defense has set the tone so far in our 2-0 play.
For you personally, offensively, had some good looks early, some open looks that just didn't fall. Was it just a matter of continuing what you do and finding that rhythm? It seemed like especially early in that second quarter, once you all started making the run, you found the rhythm.
Yeah, I feel like the first couple minutes of the first quarter, I was just rushing everything, and my coaches just told me, keep shooting, they're going to fall, just be a little patient with your shot and just slow down. I've always been told in the past, work the ball around to open spots and to be patient, and when the time's right, your chance will come and eventually you'll stick them.
Savannah, how important was that timeout in that third quarter where you still had a double-digit lead, but you could feel a little momentum going their direction? And then, all of a sudden, timeout, Coach Kemper, you all get together, he gets with his coaching staff, and the next thing you know, you're up by 14 again, where you kind of get it back in control a little bit. And you knew they were going to do that to start the third quarter, didn't you? Take a hard run at you.
Yeah, that's what they were doing the whole game. They were just driving, going hard at the rim, and looking at their post players. I just felt like the first minute and a half, our energy level wasn't where it was supposed to be. And just going back into that quarter, we just stay focused and play together and keep sticking to the game plan. We were eventually going to get some stops.
Savannah, it somewhat goes on. First off, what is it about January 1st and New Year's Day that you like to rebound the basketball? I think you set your career high last year with 11 against La Tech here, 9 today. Is there something about starting the new year off rebounding that you love?
I just don't even think about it, if I'm going to be honest. I just to get after it. I think the last year, I didn't. When I was the one, our play usually is like the 1 and 2 and get back. Well, if the other team shoots a 3 or outside shot, I just kind of like to track the ball just to see where it's going to hit at the rim, and if I can't get it, just at least tip it out to Aaliyah or Bree or any of our other guards and get the same possession again.
With Southern Miss like at the pressure you all, how does it help when you're involved in the rebounding and you've already got the ball in your hands, can push the tempo against their bigs?
Yeah, their defense, I feel like they zoned us the whole game. They just played a high 1-3-1, but it's just whenever and that's just not with them, it's just with any team. We just want to push it. We go at a fast pace. And I think we're a good conditioning team, and we just need to get more points in transition, and that's what our coach told us, is to keep pushing at them, just keep running at them.
Savannah, you guys get a little break before Florida Atlantic, so what are you all as a team trying to focus on in the next 7 days before you take on the Owls in Florida?
You just do what we always do. You know, now that this game's over, you just regroup, reload, and whatever the next game plan is you stick with it. You know, we don't play till next Saturday, is it? Yeah. Next Saturday, yeah. So, you know, we got a while, so I think recovery is a big thing. Playing 2 games in a week, back to back, and just regroup, reload, and just move forward. It's exciting going 2-0 within the new year, and just keep moving forward. We good?
You guys good?
Thanks, Sam.
You're good.
Thanks, Savannah.
Thank you all.
Just waiting on Coach.
He's on his way.
All right, Coach, opening statement, and we will take questions.
Yeah, so obviously it's good to be off to a 2-0 start. And, you know, I definitely thought that you saw a lot of fight and aggressiveness from our team early in the game. Really good defensive first half. Did a nice job with what the plan was and executed it pretty well. Good offense in the second quarter. I thought in the first quarter, you know, our ball movement was actually fine. You just got to make some of those. And, you know, Sav was pretty frustrated. I told her to calm down. There's a lot of game left. And then you look up at the end, and she found a way to score 30. So sometimes the old ball coach is right. You got a lot of game left, so calm down, you know. Second half, you know, obviously didn't come out of the locker room great. I think some of that is, you know, you got to credit them. They've got a lot of personal pride, too. They've got really good players. And you knew they were going to punch back, and you try to communicate that. And hopefully we learned that lesson that you know, when you play well and get yourself that kind of lead, you got to go right back to doing what got you there. So made big plays down the stretch. I thought rebounding was probably the key to the game, and I knew that was going to be difficult. They have I think they were like +7 on the year in rebounding margin. So to be able to beat them on the glass, I think is important. So that's we're not very tall, so you got to be tough and scrappy, and I thought we were.
Coach, you mentioned the rebounding, and Lorelei didn't get a single defensive rebound, but to keep Southern Miss off the offensive glass and to allow your guards to sort of crash down and help with rebounding, how huge was that effort from her? Sort of one of those things that doesn't show up in statistics.
Yeah, I think you're right on, and that's a high-level observation of the game. And we talked about that a lot, is that, on their post players, they're going to be in a wrestling match just to try to keep them from getting it. So, we've got to have other people get the ball, and you got to jump up there to get it, guards. You can't stand back there. You got to go up over the top of those girls and get the ball. And we do have some aggressive guards that will go do it, and I think you're exactly right. I think Lorelai, if you look at her rebounding the last couple games, she's not playing the way she wants to play, and she's got a lot of character. I believe that she will work her way out of it on offense. But she has been super steady. We can't win that game without her defensively and presence. You're exactly right. I think she'll regress back to the mean a little bit on the offensive end and go through it. But that's part of it. You're not going to play a season. We have 25 people close to our program, and not everybody's up on the same day. So you've got to fill in the cracks around that. She's struggling offensively, but she does so much more than that to help your team win. So other people got to pick it up, but she was huge today. And 45, that's a really good post player. 42, really good post player. And they went 3 for 10. 3 for 10. So that's how you win that game. Is they didn't get a lot of shots off, and a lot of that credit goes to Lowe.
You mentioned Savannah just sort of calming down. It seemed like a lot of her looks early were open looks. It's shots she normally knocks down. Do you feel like that's the next step in her maturity? She was talking to us, and she was like, hey, they were the looks. I just had to keep going with it because they were open shots. They just didn't fall early.
Yeah, I think, she's growing a lot as a player right now, and that's really good for her. I think it's part of the reason why that you're seeing her play so well is there's kind of I'm seeing as her coach a lot of maturity out of her. So, I'm kind of trying to think of the games, but like 3 straight games, she got crushed with charges at the rim, a whole bunch of charges at the rim. And then she learned, and she really hasn't, she's so quick, and she's good at that, but she's stopped getting those. So she's figured out what they are and what causes them and stopped doing it. And I think today, you're right, they're the right shots for Marshall. So if you can't, every shot you take from 3 is like a 50-50 shot. So it doesn't matter if you went 0 for your first 3. The next one that's open is a great shot for us. Like you just keep miss. The next one you're open, it's still a great shot for us. And she did that today, and then, you end up 5 for 12 from 3 because you were level-headed about missing the first 4.
You mentioned that third quarter a little bit, and Southern Miss makes a run. For you all to sort of punch back, and Southern Miss's pressure, especially, full court, just trying to bug the crap out of you. Whenever they start to get buckets going and are able to set that up, that can really cost them 12-2, 14-2 run. How proud are you of Aaliyah, Sav, for keeping their head, not throwing the ball around too much, and really sort of managing that?
I like that word, too much. Not throwing it around too much, because we definitely threw it around a little. But we've got good guards that can handle pressure, that are good decision makers. And so it's kind of like that 3-point shot. Okay, well, that one wasn't a good decision, but the average is a good decision. So get rid of that one pretty quick and get to the next one. And I need to – I was probably a little up and down emotionally too, probably too early, because I just felt like we were flat, and I was trying to figure it out. And I need to trust them a little bit more that they're going to get there and stay a little calmer with them and let them work it out. So, I think that they repeatedly press to try to speed you up. And you probably are just generally going to turn it over more in a game like that. With more chances to do it, you might do it. But I don't really believe – I think that over time it's fine with us if people want to press us. It's fine. We need to stay aggressive at the back end of it. Maybe we need to figure out how to be a little bit more aggressive at the back end of it. So break it and let's go and make them pay, because I think we've got good decision makers at the end of it too.
Coach, is that kind of why in that 5-minute timeout in the third quarter you let your players go figure it out. You and your coaches kind of figured it out a little longer than maybe normal. Got together, said, all right, we knew this was going to happen. We knew they were going to make a run. And then next thing you know, you're up 14-16 again. Not comfortable, you know,
Yeah.
but both the players, I think, got it again, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I told them. That's what I told them, because I had already called a timeout that was like, okay, let me try to get after it. And, you know, and so I said, you guys get in a huddle and decide what you want to do here, you know. Decide the team you want to be, because I think anybody in that building saw a pretty tough team in the first half. You know, a bunch of hard-nosed plays. We were tough to play against. And, you know, definitely in the second half, we backed off a little bit on that stuff. And that needs to be a learning lesson for us, and that doesn't need to happen. So, yeah. But, I mean, I think you read any quotes from great coaches, they'll tell you, you know, when your team is motivating itself, when they're running a lot of that stuff, you have a better team. We're not there yet, but I need to put them in spots. They're old. You know, we got a lot of people who have been through a lot of games like this. So they, you know, I need to put them in the position to be who they want to be, you know.
Coach, overall, talk about the scheduling aspect here of this game. You have Southern Miss today. You kind of have like 7 days off until you take on Florida Atlantic. I believe this is the only time in the schedule you'll have like a week layoff between conference games. So how do you and your staff try to approach this after having the double with Thursday, Saturday, and then have like 7 days off before you're back at it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine anytime you've got a break, and we've got some that you know, could use it with old injuries and things like that. So we're going to practice Monday. We're going to take off Tuesday. We're going to practice, maybe one more practice in there before we play on Saturday. So I think preparation is always good, and you know, we could use the week, and we need to continue to shoot a little bit. We got to find a way to make some more at the rim. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Some of that was they were really packed in there. They have size, and they kept it close to the rim, so it was hard in there to make twos. But you know, it'll be a good week of prep. Happy New Year. Thank you, guys.
You too.
Thank you, Coach.